Do you have any information about Pierre Poilievre's environmental policies?
This is a super interesting question. So again, we don't have the full platforms out, but I interviewed Conservative House Leader Andrew Scheer on the program that I host, The House, a few weeks back, and this is something we talked a lot about, specifically what the Conservatives think about trying to deal with greenhouse gas emissions. So we know that the Conservatives wanted to axe the consumer carbon tax. Mark Carney beat them to the punch. The Conservatives say, though, the only way to make that permanent, their argument is to put them in power, because they say Mr. Carney has been a proponent of the consumer carbon tax in the past. That's true. Mr. Carney says, listen, it's too divisive now. That's not the route we're going on. But the Conservatives say, you really want this? We're the ones you have to vote for. The Conservatives have said they want to cut the federal backstop on industrial carbon pricing. So basically, the rule where the federal government says, okay, industry, this is what we want you to do to try to keep your emissions in check. This is a pretty big deal, because that industrial price on carbon, according to estimates from independent climate organizations, it accounts for a big chunk of how Canada plans to bring down its greenhouse gas emissions. And so when I was talking to Andrew Scheer about this particular policy, an argument he makes, and you hear this a lot in Conservative circles, is why not expand Canadian energy, right? Why not more pipelines? Why not more Canadian oil to the world if it is displacing things like dirty coal in China or other parts of the world, that ultimately this will drive down global emissions? They say a carbon emission doesn't care whether it's created in Canada or China. It's still going to impact the international climate. My question then as a journalist is, okay, so is what you're saying, is your party's stance that where do you stand on driving down Canadian emissions? Is that the wrong focus? Would you stick with the kind of Paris targets and whatnot that we've seen? Mr. Scheer declined to answer that question, despite the fact that I asked him a couple of times. He says that's something you're going to have to keep an eye out for in the party platform.